Why, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how you all doing? Back with a random video, something just a little bit different than normal today. And why? Because I've seen a few other YouTubers do this, and thought, fuck it, why not? Which is going to be my top 5 tanks and mods of 2020. I know we're like halfway through February 2021, but better late than never. But fuck it, as always, in the background is one of my video on videos. That is one of my AOB videos. So if you fancy checking them out, jump over and see them. But I am drinking Strongbow's original cider tonight. Yes, why not? I have decided, fuck it, quit with all the random fucking drinks and stick to what you like. So decided to have that, and a good old fashioned Jack Daniels alongside it. Now, just before we get into this is not a oil review or these are the best you can get. These are just my personal picks of 2020, of mods I got, tanks I got. One mod I didn't get in 2020 I've had for a few years, but it's sort of an honourable mention and a dishonourable mention at the same time in the one sitting. And we'll get fired into that right away, which is this one here. It is the Dead Rabbit RTA V2 as the dishonourable mention because it won like gold medal awards for flavour, vape, all the rest of it. And personally I went out, bought it. I'm not the biggest RTA guy out there. But I'm sorely disappointed in that tank. Now, it could be because I'm not the best with them or best building them, so at the moment it's going to take like the wooden spoon prize for me personally. But the sort of surprise to me was, if you notice here, I am running the Twisted 420 mod with it, which I have had for fucking years and hasn't really ran very much in the way of tanks that I would class as satisfactory, but stuck the Dead Rabbit on it for a laugh and actually runs it really quite well. But in general the flavour is still fucking lagging. So the Dead Rabbit RTA V2 is the dishonourable mention at the moment. Due to lockdown I can't get anyone else to have a crack at building it, excuse me. But the honourable mention for fucking once, the first time I've ever really said a good word about this, apart from its battery life, is the Vaping with Twisted 420 box mod, which does have great battery life, but runs the Dead Rabbit V2 fucking lovely. But still I think the two of them are going to go back in the cupboard of retirement. So anyway, that is the first honourable and dishonourable mention of this fucking video. There will be more to come. But taking up number 5 is my Telsec Punk 86 watts mod with the Celebra, Slilburn, call it what you want, tank on top. Single, various. The reason why this is in the number 5 slot is the mod itself, we'll start off with that, is a lovely mod. Single battery, unscrew the bottom, battery in, battery out, all the rest of it, power straight back up. 86 watts, fucking pretty good going for a single battery in my opinion. But for me personally, the batteries just do not last long enough. As for the number 5 tank, I'll try and get you a nice wee fucking close up there. Hopefully you can see it alright. I cannot see what the camera sees. The Celebras tank, lovely wee tank. I actually got part of a kit, so I'll get more into that later on. 80 watts, lovely cloud, lovely flavour. What I like about this is it's a quarter ton, take the top off, fill it, find the bit, back on, quarter ton, and away you go again. Lovely flavour, lovely cloud. But here's why this tank is at number 5. And it is simply down to the fact it's got such a small tank on it. If I remember rightly, it's only 2 ml of juice. I burn through that like no tomorrow. I would be constantly refilling that tank. Now I know you do get, or you can get a bubble glass for it that takes up to 5 ml I think. Believe it, that is really low like liquids volume for me. But apart from that, if I had a bigger tank, or I was just bigger in general, it would have been higher. Same as with the mod, if it had been a higher or a longer battery life in it, bear in mind it does depend on your batteries as well, it probably replaced higher because it's a lovely mod just throw in your pocket and have there. Anything up to 80 watts, it powers beautifully. Can't remember how much I paid for that. So that was our 2 number 5 spots. And like I said, these are all personal opinion and preferences. Hashtag not sponsored. Coming in at number 4 is a Smock Devilkin 225 TC mod and tank kit, which is basically a clone of the Smock Alien and TVF-12 tank, which, what can I say, I can't complain about them. The Smock Alien was one of the best mods of its day. It was out there, when it came out, it was the mod to have. Dual 18650 batteries, USB-C chargeable, all that, and like, what was it, 225 watts, everything you can need in a nice wee compact body. Now just for comparison, I do have my original Smock Alien here. As you can see, they are almost identical, just slightly different designs on them now. Size wise, the Devilkin's maybe a wee bit more beefy, still a good feel in the hand, lovely fire button on it, and still chucks the clouds like no tomorrow. The tank again, it's a clone of the TVF-12, if it's not an actual TVF-12 itself, can't remember. But again, if you've ever vaped the TVF-12, you'll know flavour's lovely of it, cloud production, all of that's right there. Coils are widely available, so you've got no qualms in getting new coils for it. And the Devilkin, if it sticks up to like the Alien, will run for friggin' ever. Why did I say friggin' instead of fucking? I don't know. It was maybe fucking ever. The reason why it just took number 4 spot for me is, well, it's old tech, basically. I mean, they're all clones, more or less. They're all the same inside, but for a new tank, for a new Smock, I'd like to have seen them change out a wee bit. Maybe a slightly different display screen on it. I have no idea why that is trying to run fucking another video, but never mind. All part of my videos. So yeah, like I was saying, that's why it takes number 4, because again, it is a great tank, great mod. Just personally, I'd have liked to seen something a bit different, but well worth the money. At this point, I'm going to interject my first honourable mention, which is a Dovepol, whatever, MVV Mark II variable voltage mod for drippers. If you like drippers, this is a fucking lovely mod to have. I mean, look at that. Fucking designs on these things are lovely. Dual 18650s again. If I can get the back off, I will show you. Once I find out what side comes bloody off again. It's this side, just doing it a different way. There we go. USB-C charger again. Oh, well, it's USB charging. Get the charger with it. quite plasticky feel to it, but ramps the power out for the drippers. You could use sub-ohm tanks with this and get away with it, but I'd recommend it more for drippers or a well-built RTA. I'm not a big dripper fan because I'm out of the house a lot and I can't be arsed fucking opening it, squeezing it or squeezing down through the hole at the top. It just annoys me doing that. That's why I'm more a sub-ohms tank man. But those why this didn't make it onto the list of the top 5 is for sub-ohm tanks. I'd have liked a screen, wattage mode, things like that. But for sitting in the house is a pain in the arse because my smoke alarms hate vapes. But apart from that, it's a fucking lovely mod. I actually bought the Dead Rabbit for this, but the Dead Rabbit does not like it. Therefore, it's been put down to a dripper again. As you can see, what a fucking cloud production that throws out. So, and saying that, jump cut. I do apologise for the random jump cut there, but as I was saying about the smoke alarm's not really liking the vapes. Went to go on with number 3 in our slot, and the smoke alarms decided to rebel and go, fuck you. So I had to quickly jump up, turn them off, open windows, all the rest of it. So we're back. I had to insert a jump cut because I wasn't going back to start refilming everything all over again for it to happen again. But anyway, where were we? So yes, number 3. In the number 3 mod slot, we have the Snowwolf 218 triple 18650 batteries. I do apologise, I now have an equal on my knee because of smoke alarms. There we go. Hopefully you've seen them alright. And it should power back on. Nope, needs to be turned back on. There we go. Now, on top of that, we have the Fat Rabbit tank, which is a fucking phenomenal tank to me. And that 80 watts. Why do I like the Snowwolf? Simple. I like the Snowwolves in general. They're great mods to have. And this was the last one the vape shop had at the time, so I bit the bullet and went, fuck it, I'll buy it. I mean, it's got all the power you could want. It's got your normal fucking stainless steel mods, temperature mods, all that shite. Does have a nice battery venter on the back, I'm going to say that there. Which I've never had an issue ever with batteries venting. But why is this all at number 3? Well, simply because the Fat Rabbit is a fucking phenomenal tank. Dual airflow, top and bottom. We'll get this out of the way to start with. So, let's say, Fat Rabbit, dual airflow, top and bottom. You can close them off independently. So you can have it just as top airflow, or if you really want to, you can have it just as bottom airflow, and still works a fucking treat. Me personally, I like to have both fucking wide open, plenty of air getting through it that way. Flavour out of that is fucking phenomenal. I run it on the single mesh coils. Personally, I think they work the best, they last longer, the flavour's lovely. At 80 watts, no problem whatsoever. Now, at this point onwards, it became really tough to decide what went where, in my opinion. And the only reason why the Snowwolf 218 didn't make it higher on my list, I had 2 reasons. A, you get a silicone sleeve with this when you buy it. You know, you slot the mod into it, smell, look after it. But the way they designed it is you slot it on so it comes on for the bottom. After about a week, it stretched out so it just fell off the mod. If they'd done it so it slotted down over the top, would have been better. That way you could have gone into your batteries, all the rest of it. No issues at all. does not have a USB-B port on it at all, which I quite like. Downside is it is not upgradable, so I was just double checking there wasn't a sneaky one in the bottom there. I do like and I don't like it not having USB. I do like it because you're not going to get tempted to charge your batteries in it and fry the mod that way, which is a problem I've heard of a few times. And I don't like it because you can't upgrade it at all. But apart from that, the main reason this didn't sit any higher is the size of it. I mean, that is a big mod. It is beefy. It is, you put that in your pocket, you're putting nothing else in beside it, really, because it is going to take up so much room. But the battery life out of it is phenomenal. The power's there. It's quick hitting, all the rest of it, things I really like, and it can power some big fucking tanks at high wattage, which I really like. And it will do it, no problem at all, no sweat to the thing. So there's my personal pros and cons on the Snow Wolf. Cons of the Fat Rabbit. Well, one con is it is a top fill, so you have to actually unscrew the top. I would have rather had a slide or a trapdoor mechanism, something like that, so you don't lose it. But hey, well, it does have dual filling ports at the top that makes it lovely. Other downside to it really is the airflow does take up a bit of room inside the bubble glass, which comes with it. Well, came with it for me anyway. But I can't really knock it too much. It is a phenomenal wee tank. Why did it not place any higher? Well, it was hard, it was difficult. Main reason why is I just thought it was slightly outclassed for different reasons higher up. On which, time to move on to our number 2 spot, which you might be able to see on camera and guess what it is. It is the Drag Mini. Sure, it's the Mini anyway. Turn it off and turn it on just to double check. When it decides to turn back on. Come on, turn on. Yeah, it is the Drag Mini. I'm only joking, this is actually a dual spot to the Drag Mini and the Drag X. Why? Because I couldn't really decide one way or another. They both have pros, they both have cons, and I couldn't really decide which one won it. So we'll start off with the Drag Mini. Right, pros to this thing is, it is like a 117 watt mod. It does have built-in battery, and it does have a normal 510 screw connector at the top. Got to turn this back down now. So you screw that in, then you get your drag or your Voopoo P&P pods. Pop in, pop out, all the rest of it. Has lovely airflow. Now, as you might expect, if you watch my videos, that is the 0.15 coil. For the size of this thing, the battery life is really good. It's small, it's compact, it's lovely to use. And like I said, you can fire any other tank up to 117 watts on the top of that. No problem whatsoever. I do like the fact that it came with an adapter for the P&P mods. That is lovely. Downsides to it. Well, the downsides is a USB-C charging port, which you have to use to charge it. You cannot change the batteries in this thing. So when the batteries are flat, they are flat until you are done. Well, until you're done charging it, should I say. Now, to me personally, when I'm out and about, I do a lot of vaping, and I can run through dual 18650 batteries when I'm out the house. So having a mod I cannot change the batteries in is an issue to me. But that is why this is in at number 2 alongside the Drag X. Now the Drag X, why is this sitting here? Well, again, same as the Drag Mini, for the size of the coils, I mean, these things are tiny coils. Single mesh again, 0.15 ohms, 80 watts. But look at that cloud production, the flavour out of these things is phenomenal. I really do mean the flavour out of these are phenomenal, and these are less than £40 to buy. Alright, you've got to buy a battery apart from it. It does come with a USB charger, again, but it does have an 18650 in the butt of it. So it is interchangeable batteries. What's the downsides to this one? Well, the downside is every time you turn it on, you've got to set the damn time. That is something that really annoys me with it for some reason. Is the fact that every time, even if the battery's out for less than 30 seconds, it still asks you to set the time. Now, this is the cons I'm on about here. The other downside to it is it is made for the PNP pods, which is brilliant. The pods are brilliant, but if you've only got one with you and that fries, you've got no chance of putting another tank on there. You can buy an adapter separately though, so it's not all bad. Personally, it could have been better if it came like the Drag Mini with the pod adapter on it. Therefore, you could stick another tank on it, such as the Fat Rabbit, if you chose to. But I can't knock this too much. It's got a lovely feel. It's actually a hardy wee mod. I've dropped this so many times as to be unreal. Like, even just sitting here, I've sat on my knee, forgot, stood up, it's hit the floor, whatever. The only thing I've had to do is put the pod back in, and away we go. For the size of the coils, the price of this thing, you can't beat it really. It is really, really hard to find another tank like that that'll beat it for the price. And that is why those two take up the number 2 spot, if you want my personal opinion. Now, we're going to do our last honourable mention, which is the Geek Vape Boost. What was it? The Boost what? The Boost what? The Boost what? The Boost Plus. Sorry, I've got the box sitting here behind me so I remember what it's called. And why? Because this one is actually my missus' Kells. Now, this got knocked out quite easily for a few reasons, which is personal preference. First of all, it is a very low wattage machine. I mean, it doesn't go high watts. I mean, we'll check the box quickly. I'm sure it tells me on there how many watts it goes to. Yeah, it's a max of 40 watts. Sorry, I did take note of all this before and it's just going out of my mind. It's a 40 watt machine, so you're not going to get great cloud production out of that, and I quite like my clouds. The other real downside to this is it is only a 2 ml tank. So again, a very small tank, just like the Celebra or whatever you want to call it. Very small tank on it. And here's the real kicker to the teeth. You cannot see through that tank really. There's a tiny wee window at the front here you're meant to see your e-liquid. That isn't the best for me. I like being able to, like all the rest of them, you can see through them clearly. You can see how much liquid you've got. Another problem is when it's in, the window's obscured by the body. It is a single 18650 battery. You can take that out and change it for another one. It does have USB charging on the side. Pros to this is it's a tough wee mod. It's meant to be waterproof, drop proof, shock proof, dust proof, yada yada yada. So if you're out on a build site or something and want a wee mod you can carry, you're not fussed about refilling it all the time or big clouds or anything like that, I would recommend it. The other downside I've found is this airflow at the front can get turned very easily without you noticing. But I've got to tell it's the same coil. The flavour's lovely out of it. It really does have a nice flavour. It's a nice small compact size again, fits nicely in the hand. Again, slight con, when I hold it, 9 times out of 10 I cover the airflow with my finger. I've got to remember I hold it up a wee bit. I don't use this that often because it is kettles, but I have used it a few times. It does have the interchangeable drip tips, just giving you a nice wee view of that. But again, they could be knocked off real easy in your pocket, or even before it reaches your pocket. So just the small tank size, low wattage, is the reason why that did not really make it onto the list for me. And I'm really disappointed in that because I do like my Geek vapes. I have been told you can buy third party tanks that fit it a lot better, that have higher mLs and all that. I don't know though. But they are visually a stunning mod. They're maybe tough. They do feel nice in the hand. It's just unfortunate for me personally. It's such a small tank and the airflow is in the way. And I really do wish I had higher wattage. I'm trying not to be too critical on that because it's not for everyone to have big clouds and things like that. I just personally like my clouds. But that is our last honourable mention, and I would recommend that to most people if you're not fussy about big clouds or high wattage. And you can live with that tiny wee window. If you can live with that, you're on to a gold gin there. But now, on to my personal favourite of 2020, probably the best purchase I'm glad I made of my vapes of 2020, which was a shit year, is my Aegis X with the TVF16 on top. These two walk it easily. Why does the TVF16 walk it? That is a huge fucking tank on there. I mean, that is massive. It has a huge reservoir. I can't remember off the top of my head how much e-liquid that can hold. I'm sure it's around the 10 millilitres though. It's a nice beefy tank to have, and it produces the clouds as you would expect from such a tank. I mean, no problem at all with this thing. Chuck clouds all day long as you ask it to. And that's only 120 watts. I've got the dual mesh coils in there. They can go up to 160, I think it is. We'll give it a quick run up and probably piss off my fire alarms again. I'll try and not to because the dogs just settled down again, really. But there's at 160 watts. It chucks the clouds at that. Really thick clouds, really fucking flavourful. I just prefer running at 120 watts for the simple reason of it makes the coils seem to last forever. I mean, I've had that coil in there easily since the beginning of January, and we are now well into February. We are on the 10th of February, and I've been running that coil pretty much all this year. And it does fucking amazing. Downsides to it, for me personally, all I can say is the downsides is really the size of the tank. I know that sounds weird, I'm saying that's a pro. To me it's also a con. But in your pocket it does take up a lot of real estate, and let's be honest, that can be a problem for some people. But I always seem to find myself carrying my jacket, whatever. I've loads of room on me for it. I mean, the flavour in it and that cloud is fucking phenomenal. It is second to none in my personal opinion. I mean, even my dripper here, it's hard to decide what one gives off the better flavour. Excuse me. So that is why the TVF16 takes the #1 spot in my tanks. Because if you want sub-ohm, if you want to chuck clouds, and you don't or can't build coils, this thing is going to give you the flavour of it, it's going to give you the clouds, and you're going to be a happy chappy. Now, another boost I'm going to give with it is the TVF16 comes with the bubble glass as standard. It comes with this nice big beefy glass protector and with two coils in the box. Now on to my number one spot of the mods themselves, which is the Geek Vape Aegis X. Again, it's dual 18650 batteries. The battery life out of it seems phenomenal. I mean, look at that screen. That screen is fucking sexy for a vape mod. You can change the screensaver on it. As far as I know at the moment, you can't customise it, but who knows, there is rumours it will be. I have ran drippers on this, I've ran RTA, I've ran my Fat Rabbit, I've ran everything on it. It just works as you'd expect it to do. Now I know everyone sort of goes, oh, but they all do the same inside. Yeah, you're right, in a way they do, but this thing ramps up in no time at all. It is producing what you're asking it to do, and it has the options for everything you could want from it. Again, it is drop proof, shock proof, waterproof, dust proof, everything else. Have a test of it, have a fuck. The other nice bit is apparently you can change the back of this if you want. But I quite like that one. Again, this came as a kit. This was all about earlier with its Libra tank. This Libra tank at 80 watts. That tank doesn't do that mod justice. But if you're looking to get into vaping, if you want to buy it, the best kit you can, that is the one I'd recommend. It's Libris with the Aegis X, but if you want big clouds, I would say buy the Aegis X, then the TVF16. Again, it doesn't have a... Does it have a USB cable? I'm sure it does. Positive it did somewhere. Maybe it doesn't. No, it does. It's at the top there. Sorry. Forgetting that. Which has got a nice wee waterproof seal on it. I'm not going to open it. I was going to, but I'm not now. It does have the trapdoor 18650 batteries in the bottom there, as you can see. Spring loaded catch. Again, this thing out the box is lovely. So that'd be my number one recommendation. Out of 2020, base mod, best tank I bought would be the TVF16 with the Aegis X. And I'll be honest, I don't know why I bought anything else after that, if I'm honest, because I was over the moon with both of them. And you can still purchase all of this online really easily at this moment of recording. But that is pretty much your fucking lot. That is my top 5 mods and tanks of 2020 now that we're in 2021. I'm going to curb this now before anyone else fucking asks me. What about the Falcon King? Well, the Falcon King, I did have that. And it seemed like a nice enough tank. The problem I had was the one I got was fucked up out the factory. Now, I'm not saying all Falcon Kings are fucked up, just that one was. For whatever reasons, I would only screw it onto my really old Alien mod. All the other mods you see in front of you, it would not screw on. I had to return that to the shop, because I bought that and my Fat Rabbit at the same time. And when I returned it to my vape shop, I mean, it was only a few days later I returned it. Well, it was a bit longer than a few days, it was a few weeks due to lockdown. But the problem was they didn't have any more when I went back. So we replaced it with another, I do mean another, Fat Rabbit. As you can see there in the mag kit. Oh, the mag mod. So, before anyone asks about that, it ain't going to come up in my videos because it was, my personal one was fucked up. And I cannot say really whether it was good, bad or indifferent.
But personally, I was over the moon with the Fat Rabbit. I think the flavour of that is fucking amazing.
But it doesn't quite stand up to the TVF-16.
And I'm going to leave it there because I could prattle on all fucking night about these things.
I hope you have enjoyed the videos. The whole point of this one was I've seen so many other YouTubers do it. I thought, you know what, fuck it, I'll make my own version of it. And I'm going to be pretty fucking honest on my opinion with things. Like, the Celebris tank is really fucking let down by the low fucking tank on it.
The Geek Vape Boost Plus, that tank is the fucking, probably the worst tank I've used this in the last year, easily. With that small window, low wattage, all the rest of it, really let it down. You know, but the one that really fucked me off was the Dead Rabbit. Because I've seen so many reviewers go, oh, this is the bollocks, it's better than the Fat Rabbit, it's better than this, it's better than that. They made it sound like the best fucking tank on the market for an RTA, and maybe the right build it is, but personally, I've got the same oil as that as I've got in this, my wee fucking Drag X, and even the flavour out of that is 10 times fucking better. You know, I mean, I have spoken to another few vapors who have all said the same thing since then, that the Fat Rabbit was bigged up way too much. Whether other YouTubers are getting fucking asked to big it up or what, we don't know. But it is shite in comparison. If you're looking for an RTA, look fucking elsewhere. Because that is a major disappointment to the point I'm fucked off. I spent 30 quid on that thing, when I could have bought pretty much any other one of these tanks quite easily. I mean, I could have bought the Boost X, the Drag X even, for the same price I paid for that shitty tank, and been so much better off and so much happier. So, like it or lump it, that's my fucking opinion. I don't think you'll ever see it, but Twisted420, if you ever fucking see this video, mate, don't take this wrong way, I was fucking so gutted with your tank, your mod when I first got it. I badmouthed it son horrible. But with an RTA on it, it fucking works. I'll give you that, it has started fucking working. And the battery life out of it is brilliant. And I feel bad for saying that because it is an old mod now. It has to be 3-4 years old, something like that. But anyway, I'm going to end the video there because I'm prattling fucking on. But hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully it helps somebody out there somewhere. At some point, look up fucking mods, tanks, whatever. Keeps people away from that fucking Dead Rabbit. After lockdown, I do have somebody else that wants to have a crack at building it to try and see if they can do it any better. If they do, I'll come back and say I was wrong, hands up, whatever. I'm not going to hold my breath on that though. So apart from that, not much else to say. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment anything down below you want to say. And remember people, stay smart, be safe, thank you others, and peace! I forgot what company made that fucking variable voltage mod. And I looked at the box, I can see it's the variable voltage Mark II. Fuck's sake. Still can't see who makes it. Dovepole, or Dovepole, whatever. Have a quick drink, and we will jump on to our number 3 spot, which is, for the mod, the Snow Wolf 218. Lovely mod this. Triple 18650 batteries. Just hoping the arse it there. There we go, you can see in there. Well, hopefully you can. And I'll put it back. There we go.
and it does a lovely job. Bastard! I'm just going to fucking do a sort of jump cut for that, so I'm not restarting it.